many do you have?
We recovered 12 from the SGC. They're all stored here.
Has anyone been studying them recently?
We've all been focusing on the X-303. There we go. All present and accounted for.
It's a fake. All the mimic devices were switched.
Someone duplicated the duplicators?
The last recorded test of those devices was 6 months ago. It could have been taken any time after that.
There's got to be some way that we can use this to clear you.
I don't think the alien technology defense is going to fly.
If I'm understanding this correctly, there is someone walking around out there that can make himself look exactly like you at the push of a button. That's got to be relevant.
It's classified information, Jonas. But we can use it to find the real assassin. Maybe.
So how do these things work?
Well, it's a two-part process. First, you take somebody and pass them through a large scanning device, which then uploads their exact image into a holographic sequencer.
Which looks like this.
Exactly. Then you place that sequencer somewhere on your body and activate it, and you instantly take on the appearance of the person you scanned.
Was the scanning device taken?
No, it's still at Area 51. We checked it out.
So whoever did this can only impersonate a limited number of people.
12, to be precise, including Colonel O'Neill, Dr. Fraser, and Daniel.
What about General Hammond?
The alien impersonating him was trapped in the gate room along with several others. They activated some kind of self-destruct and blew themselves up. But in case you're wondering, Teal'c and I were never scanned.
It's good to know.
I've requested all the personnel files on everyone who had access to these devices. I'd like the two of you to check them out.
What about you?
I'm going to Washington. I need to look up an old acquaintance. Major Carter, here to see Agent Barrett.
Major Carter. I was wondering how long it would be before you came by. Welcome to NID headquarters.
In 3 years, only 8 people at Area 51 have had authorized access to the mimic devices.
We must speak to them all.
Most of them have been transferred to the X-303 project, so they're still living in Nevada. Wait a minute. There's something. Dr. Brent Langham.
Deceased.
Killed in an automobile accident 3 weeks ago.
Given the circumstance, that would appear to be a highly unlikely coincidence.
What exactly are you implying here, Major? That the NID had a hand in the assassination of a U.S. senator?
Very few organizations have the resources to pull off something like this.
And the man accused of the crime happens to belong to one of them.
The SGC is not behind this.
Senator Kinsey was no friend of the StarGate command. In fact, he tried to take you down more than once.
We don't engage in criminal activity, Agent Barrett, which is more than I can say for the NID.
If you're referring to the Prometheus incident, that was orchestrated by a handful of rogue agents.
What about Steveston, Oregon? You sat by and watched while the Goa'uld took over an entire town of innocent civilians.
That was an officially sanctioned operation. That would have succeeded if it wasn't for your interference.
Are you kidding me? Your agents were compromised and your organization was about to be infiltrated.
Look, Major. The videotape of Colonel O'Neill clearly places him at the scene of the crime. And the murder weapon was found near his cabin. So, if you'll excuse me, I've got work to do. You know, it says here that by 2075, the Earth's oceans will be too warm to sustain most coral reefs. And once they're gone, the entire ecosystem of the planet will collapse.
It's a cheerful thought.
And we spend all of our time trying to protect the world from the Gould. Maybe we should worry a little more about protecting it from ourselves.
What are we doing out here, Agent Barrett?
My office is bugged. It's standard procedure to record all conversations that take place at NID headquarters. What I'm about to tell you, Major, nobody else can know, especially my superiors.
What are you talking about?
There's a cancer at the NID, a shadow organization that operates outside the law. It's time they were exposed for who they really are.
I agree.
The Prometheus incident, that was the last straw. After that, I was called to the White House for an assignment.
What does this have to do with Colonel O'Neill?
Senator Kinsey was working for me. He was about to give me enough evidence to bring down the entire leadership of the Shadow Group.
How did you convince him to do that?
Let's just say I know about a few of the skeletons in the senator's closet. And it is an election year.
You blackmailed him.
I'll do whatever it takes to bring these people down, Major.
So who else knows about this?
As of this moment, the president, a few members of his staff, and you.
You're working alone?
The smaller the operation, the less chance of it being compromised. You have no idea how far the corruption goes, Major. Not even the SGC is immune.
You're taking a big risk talking to me.
I need your help. Besides, I think there's more that you're not telling me. I mean, you've seen the evidence against Colonel O'Neill. What makes you so sure that he's innocent?
When you work with someone that long, you just know.
No, there's something more than that. There's something you're not telling me.
Your job requires you to be suspicious of everybody, even your coworkers. Where I come from, we trust each other with our lives every day. Maybe that's something you can't understand.
Well, I guess it's never too late to learn.
When the mimic devices were first brought to Area 51, a team of 8 scientists was assigned to study them. The Pentagon was hoping to be able to adapt the devices for use in the field. However, while the original holographic images that were created by the aliens seemed to last indefinitely, those that were created by the scientists in the lab were only sustainable for 3 to 4 minutes at a time due to problems with electromagnetic interference. So the project was scaled back, and 5 of the original team members were reassigned. The remaining 3 were Dr. Singh, Dr. Healy, and this fellow, Dr. Brent Langham. They continued working on the devices for another 6 months with no new breakthroughs. Finally, the entire project was shut down, and Dr. Healy and Dr. Singh were transferred to the X-303 project.
And Dr. Langham?
He was supposedly killed in a car crash 2 days before the transfer was due to take effect.
The body was burned beyond recognition. He was identified through dental records, but the coroner missed something. Toxicology report came back clean. No signs of any drugs or alcohol in the victim's blood.
Why is that unusual?
Well, Dr. Langham was epileptic. His condition required him to take regular doses of anticonvulsant drugs. There should have been traces of those drugs in his blood.
The dental records were falsified. The body recovered at the crash site was someone else.
So you're saying this Dr. Langham took the mimic device and engineered his own disappearance?
Or someone engineered it for him.
Okay, are we suggesting then that this scientist shot Kinsey?
I doubt it. He didn't have any paramilitary training.
Perhaps Dr. Langham merely provided the mimic devices for a fee.
But he can lead us to whoever was responsible.
I don't care what it takes. I want you to find this Dr. Langham.
Yes, sir.